Stanley adında bir adama ait bir hikaye. Büyük binası olan bir şirketin 427 numaralı işçisiydi Stanley. İşi basitti. Evet, klavyede tuşlara basardı. Tamam.
This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year.
Ya
hayır. Others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Stanley mutluydu. Stanley'e böyle ekranına şimdi şu tuşa bas, şimdi şu tuşa bas diye emirler geliyormuş. O Stanley mutlu. Aha, bir şey olmuş. Sonsuza dek onu değiştiren ve onun asla unutamayacağı bir şey.
When he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Neyse, hadi hareket edelim.
Ne iş yapıyorum ben?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided
Diğer tüm işçi arkadaşları gitmişti.
Ben ne yapıyorum?
Ne olmuş olabilirdi ki? Ne olmuş olabilir? Arnold Çakır 26. için teşekkür ederim. Hoş geldiniz. Root Ghost 19. için teşekkürler. Hoş geldiniz. Hoş geldiniz. I hate Mondays.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Önüne iki kapı çıktığında soldaki kapıdan girdi. Okay.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Toplantı odasına giden yolun olmadığını çok bal gibi de biliyordu. Buna rağmen bu dinlenme alanına gitmek istedi belki de.
Truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Evet.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
İlk soldan girdi diyor. Yo, girmedim.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Stanley direktifleri takip etmekten o kadar takip edemiyordu ki yıllar önce işinden kovulmaması büyük bir sürprizdi. Oğlum nereye geldik bu arada biz? Oh my god, biraz büyükmüş gibi ha. Atlasak ölür müyüz ki? Ölmeyelim.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
Evet, galiba.
I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but... What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Let me prove it. Let me prove that I...
Bu şey değil mi ya? Oğlum bu anlatıcı Discord'da benim ya. Bu oyuncu da Drakan falan yani. Ben güzel bir şey göstermeye çalışıyorum. Onlar tam böyle güzel bir şey göstereyim anlatayım derken Discord'da bizimle uzun süre vakit geçirenler çok iyi anladı ne olduğunu. Yayınlara da yansıyor ki bazen birlikte oynadığımız yayınlarda da oluyor bu. Yani Stanley olacak iş mi? Ben burada sana Güzel bir şeyler göstermeye, yardım etmeye çalışıyorum. Senin yaptığın şeye bak. Tam da lafın ortasında falan muhabbet yaptı. Aha, önemli diyor.
Stanley walked through the red door.
Bu çok önemli. Stanley kırmızı kapıdan içeri girdi. Kırmızıyı severim ama maviden gireceğim.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
Galiba yanlış anladın. Stanley kırmızı kapıdan girdi. Tamam ya.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
Galiba iletişimde bir sıkıntı yaşıyoruz. Dedim ki Stanley kırmızı kapıdan girdi. Şu an başka bir seçenek sunmadığı için.
All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you.
Yine kırmızı. Ha, okey. Kırmızı kapı sandım ben uzaktan bunu. Wow, nereye geldik böyle? Bu nasıl bir bina? Vay, tamam Stanley. Tamam, seçtiğim bir yolun sonunda senin neyin beklediğini görmeye bu kadar istekli misin? Tamam, hadi git bakalım. Gördün mü? Bak burada hiçbir şey yok. Aha, burada olmaman gerekiyordu. Haritanın bu kısmını yaratmadım bile diyor.
Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do not think I put a lot of time into that, because I did. And in the end it was all for nothing, because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees?
Evet.
Work with me. You give me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design and you can give me some feedback.
Olur.
There we go.
That?
A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Buraya mı gireyim? Ama o zaman ben buraya girmek istiyorum. Şimdi de. Tamam, hadi gireyim buraya.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
Evet.
Aha! You see, I knew I was onto something. Where do these flashes of inspiration come from? How did I know the game needed a third door? Well, it's
farklı seçeneklerin olsun ister miydin oyunda dedi. Evet
I really
dedim.
couldn't say where the idea came from, except that I felt it in my soul. You can't teach that, Stanley. Don't even try. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Lan? Worldwide ne? Leaderboard. Good old Neil. 2 saniye. Ne oluyor? Ne oluyor? Aha, ben de çıkacağım. Bana geri... Aa! Dört 9328 oyuncu içerisinde 9328'incisin ne? Why not ask some friends for help? Friends. Oh man. Oyuncuların %98.9'u Stanley'den daha çekici. Hayda. How long does it take you to get the correct door? Tamam ya. Bir daha mı gireyim? Yo. Tamam, hadi soldan gidelim.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers please.
Ne? Kapıdan geçmek beni başka kapılardan geçmeyi motive eder mi? Evet.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
Çalıştır.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail.
Ama yani tam adamı ne
All
yaptırıyorsun?
about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Kırmızı tuşa basarsam sağa gidecek.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain.
Trip atıyor.
What do we have here?
Ne var?
Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Hangi oyun?
Aha! Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you're meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower. Perhaps for some sort of twisted, erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
Ha, madem öyle başkasının oyunu oyna falan diye başkasının oyununu oynattırıyor şu an. Ve Firewatch'a da bir salladı ha, bayağı salladı. Tamam. Firewatch oynayalım. Ne yani bebeği ateşe... Ne olamaz? Ne olamaz? Yürüyoruz işte çayırda.
It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off. Thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call.
Açık dünya oyununu kapattı adam.
That thing, that big open, just wandering around, no right or wrong directions, no path to follow. You can just go in any...
Tam bizlik işte. En sevdiğim.
Thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls.
Duvarları olan başka bir...
Big, insurmountable walls.
Başka bir oyuna geçiyoruz. Dur bakayım başka bir oyun ne olabilir?
Okay, I think this will be just
geçilemez duvarları olan oyun. Neymiş ya? Roketlik!
See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design.
Aynen öyle.
If you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
Mümkün değil. Gol olabiliyor muyum?
Exactly do we do here?
Burada ne yapıyoruz? Top vardı ama top yok.
Here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some
araba var
kind
ama yarış
here.
pisti yok.
Is this game sports ball?
Evet, spor.
I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together. Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
Ah. Hızlandım galiba biraz. Hızlandım. Ya buraya gel.
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun?
Are you winning,
better than
son?
my miserable little story that I worked so hard on? Stanley, I have a thought. And I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple balls makes for an even more euphoric sports experience.
Doğru. Tek bir top bu kadar coşturuyorsa birden fazla top daha da fazla coşturur.
Yes. Oh goodness, that really does feel amazing, doesn't it?
Aynen
Stanley,
öyle.
I'm like a
Artık
child in
iki
a
topum var.
confectionery shop. I simply have to have more. I'm insatiable. More balls.
Way. Pardon. O oraya girer. Bakmama gerek bile yok. Evet, eğleniyorum. Canım Rocket League çekti şu an.
Well, I sure hope you're having a good time because guess what? It's over. That's right. Your little fun comes to an end. This is my game and what I say goes. You get to have fun when I let you, Stanley. Besides, you need someone like me to set boundaries for you. Without rules or boundaries, video games are nothing. Yes, that's what I am. I'm structure. I'm your sense of purpose. And since you decided you didn't want to play my game, now I don't want to play with you either. So, goodbye, Stanley. I'm leaving. See how you like it when I'm not around to set the rules. Somehow, I don't think you'll enjoy it as much. But who knows? You're an inventive kid. You'll come up with something. After all, you're the one who knows best.
Doğru.
Take care, Stanley.
Yine trip yedik. Yine trip yedik. Aynen. Hadi ben gidiyorum. Sen nasıl olsa tek başına bir amaç bulursun kendine. Dedi. Peki. Lan niye atlayamıyorum? Şuradan içeri. Ne. Time to slam Spliebli. Spliebli. Time to slam a Spliebli. Ne. Oy! Koçum ha? Alfa test, beta bilmem. Beni burada bulamazsın mı? Oy koçum burada. Ya iyi de adam bizim normalde benim herhangi bir oyunda yaşadığım bir şeyi oyun olarak sunuyor. Ve bana çok tanıdık geliyor yani. oyunu kırıp yapının dışına çıkmaca falan, ne bileyim. Yapay zekayı delirtip bir anda. Hadi bakayım, daha da attım kendimi aşağı. Neredeyiz? 510 mu? Oh my god. ...423... Aa, orada bir ışık gördüm. Duvarlarla kapalı yerden nasıl gideceğiz? Reset lazım herhalde diyor. Dragonirax. 427'ye geldik. Oo. Çok da bir şey yok gibi.
I wonder what he found.
Ne buldu merak ettim.
Was to be the leading man in his own story, well perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now.
Kendi kendisini yöneten bir adam arıyorduysa onu bulmuştur muhtemelen.
He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon.
Bitiriyor muyuz oyunu?
I can wait.
Bitiriyor muyuz oyunu?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Tamam, bu sefer adamın söylediklerini yerine getirelim. Bakalım ne olacak.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Kovulmamak için ipuçları.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Using slides to assure employees that everything is okay, make sure your slides has a slick blue graphic in the header and throw some... Everyone is unique, you must... Herkes eşsiz, en çok da sen. Abi. Number of slides on this slide. Bu slide'daki slide sayısı falan diyor. Rate at which chart on the same slide. Rate of increase in grass per... Kontrolden çıkmış artık. Grafikler. On your boss appreciation minute worksheet, circle the top 20 things you lost most about your boss. If you ever find yourself in a conflict with another diligent employee like yourself, but more inclined, what are your dreams for future? Koma yazıyor şurada. Geleceğe dair hayalleriniz neler? Koma. Başa döndük. Daha az konuşun. Kovulmak istemiyorsanız. Aa, hızlı geçiyor. Bir yerden yönetebiliyor muyum bunu? Hayır.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Peki. Öyle yapmışım.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Aa, burada bir yol ayrımı var. O zaman aşağı ineceğim. Patron yukarıda diyor şeyi. Odası.
But Stanley just couldn't do it.
Evet ama Stanley yapamadı. Patronla yüzleşmek ihtimali bilmem ne.
And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy.
Belki de.
All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all.
Döngüye girdim.
None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations.
Döngüye girdim.
Why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went?
Aynen öyle. Neden otomatik kapanıyor kapılar? Neden ayaklarımı göremiyorum? Neden bunu tekrar ediyor?
This is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last he came to the conclusion
Bu gerçek
that had been on
olamaz.
the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming.
Rüya görüyorum.
He yelled. This is all a dream.
Bunların hepsi bir rüya.
What a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an
Bir rahatladık.
explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. He thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Oh yes, uçmaya başladık.
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
Yaptığım ve düşündüğüm her şeyi bana dikte eden bir ses var.
Itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself? Believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control. That this was a dream.
Bunun bir rüya olduğunu ve kontrol bizde olduğunu kanıtlayabiliriz.
He invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one.
Ana.
Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Uh-oh. Rüya değil mi yani?
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Mariella adında bir kadının hikayesi bu.
Like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk.
Öldü.
And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Bu da diğer son mu? Aa, evet. İkinci sonu da gördük. İki son gördük. Mariella'nın ayaklarının dibinde can verdi Stanley. Delirmiş bir şekilde.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Şimdi patrona gideceğiz. Şimdi patron...
Oh, new content? What does that mean?
Yeni içerik. Götür beni yeni içeriye. İşte oyun bu, yani bunu size anlatamazdım.
Hello and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Aha.
As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers.
O 2013'te
After receiving critical
çıkmış.
and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers.
Konsolları da çıkmış.
The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
İşte beni bu
Okay, so far it's an elevator.
yeni içeriğe
Nothing
götür.
special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Aynen öyle. Baş döndürücü bir, sersemletici bir maceraya götür beni.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere? There we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
Yeni içeriye gidiyoruz. Lan yeni içeri değil, yeni içerik.
Of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if
Geldik.
Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Veriyorum, bekle. The Jump Circle. Ha?
All right. Let's see. It's the jump circle.
Zıplama çemberi. Jumps remaining. 36 zıplama kalmış geriye. Peki. 35. Yeah. Zıplayamıyorum artık. Achievement geldi 2 tane. What the? Zıplayamazsın achievement'ı. Bruh.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh wait, there's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else.
Evet, zıplamalardan başka bir içerik gelmiş olması lazım. Kesinlikle zıplamalardan başka bir içerik koymuş olmaları lazım, değil mi? Thank you for enjoying the new...
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Hayır. Bunda bir seçenek hakkım yokmuş.